Hello everybody and welcome back to the Hilltop Pillbox here in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. And going to be doing a YouTube game of 1939 versus a new buddy of mine, Axis and Alloys. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this is historical board gaming's tour de force from the early 2000s. I'm not exactly sure when it first came out, but I saw it myself in about 2012, the first time, 2012, 2013. And then, of course, they moved on with their 1939 magnum opus, I guess you could call it. And so 1939 is somewhere between your Global 40 or your BBR. So BBR is a little bit more advanced than G40. As far as the different options go, and of course the rule set is a little different with the 8 rounds. And this is nestled between BBR and 1936 by historical board gaming. Pardon me. And that music in the background is called, I believe it's called Fogbound or Into the Fog or something. So yeah, that's kind of where my brain goes sometimes when I play a game like this by myself, because there are so many pieces and so many little steps to try to keep straight on my own. And you know I'm going to forget things every now and again, and I suspect Axis and Alloys might as well. I don't know, maybe he's an old champ at this and he's just going to wreck me, but I'm sure there are some things I'm going to, I forgot to move that, or I forgot to do this, or what have you. But this is a fantastic game. This is probably my personal favorite World War II map type game like this, right? Like there's other games I enjoy as well, of course, but you know, this one here, it's just like I say, a little bit more involved than G40, and a little less political and you know, multinational based, and all the expansions that 36 has to offer. Those are fantastic. Those are fun to play too. That you definitely want to crowd for. This will be my first time playing this via YouTube, so I hope you enjoy it. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, I do have a number of other videos about 1939 on my channel, and we're just going to get going here. I am going to be playing the Axis, so Germany's going to go first. And they get what's called a second impulse. So they do their whole first turn, they put their buy on, and then they get to attack again. And that is how France can fall, because Reims, or Reims, I've heard it said both ways, falls, and then Paris is next. And the same with Poland. You can take out West Poland, but then you get to go to Warsaw. You can't go to East, though, because that's what the Soviets get to attack. So, a la Molotov-Ribbentrop, you got your Baltic states and East Poland going to the Soviets. There you go. All right, I won't get too much into everything here. Just let you know, Italy itself cannot attack, or sorry, Britain cannot attack Italy on the first round because they're not at war. But Italy can attack Britain, which makes for a very interesting opening turn. So there is no Taranto, no, not even a possibility of it. And you see a lot of French stuff here. There's lots of blue on this board. Lots of Navy. Lots of territories that are considered French. Even way over here in French Indochina and Saigon. And even way over here in New Hebrides and Fiji. Right? And these all get rolled for. And they... Oh, don't forget Madagascar. That one can be very important, actually. They get rolled for. And they either go pro-Axis or pro-Allies. So if they go Vichy, they're pro-Axis. And if they go Free French, of course, they are allied. So, for instance, if Madagascar goes Vichy, that means that the Japanese can just come here and use this as a free zone, like for their planes and whatnot, right? Because they don't have to take it over. They can do it in non-com. So the Japanese bombers could come over and wreck a fleet and then just fly over here, right? And that has happened. That's why I pointed that out. All right, so here we go. We're going to get right to it. Axis and Allies, not Axis and Allies, Historical Board Gaming's Global War 1939. I was going to say it's the Axis versus the Allies, which it is, but it's definitely a great historical board gaming game. and we will let you know how the Germans fare right after this. All right, welcome to round one, and actually this is just going to be Germany's turn, and we're going to show you all the dice rolling and all the exciting stuff here as I'm playing Axis and Alloys here, a game of Global War 1939. So if you just watched the previous part of the video, then there you go. But now we got to get down to some dice rolling. For those of you not familiar with Global War 1939, it is a D12 system. So we roll these sorts of bad boys. And I'm just going to get a few more out because there will be... actually, I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's a couple times we have 7 or 8 units, but we'll do that. Now, this looks like a mess here. So in the rules, after Paris has fallen, which we really hope happens today, if the Germans save $5, this is 5 of their initial 52, they can place an armor and 2 infantry in Marseille. Now if it goes free French, well, that's $5 I'll have for next round. So here we have the buy with the, I'm not sure if this is the rest, I think I might be saving $1, but so we've got 4 mechs at 4, so that's 16. U-boats for Germany cost 5. Okay, so that's 20, so that's 36, and then 11 for the tactical, so that's 47, and then the 5 here is 52. I'm not saving anything. And then I've gotten these out, so when I capture territories, this is as many territories as Germany may capture on the first round or annex. Yeah, so they're busy. So we're just going to get going here. I've talked to Axis and Alloys, and he's not going to scramble, and so the way this video is going to go is I'm going to show my buy, which I have, my first round of attacks, the combat moves and attacks, and then I'm going to pause the video because I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of moving around, and then I'm going to show you Germany's second impulse. So they'll put on their buy, and then they'll have a second attack, and that's just the way 1939 goes. So let's get going. So we'll start down here. So we've got the Graf Spee is going to head over and take on these 2 British destroyers. So we'll roll this at the same time. So the Graf Spee is going to be the red die, and the 2 yellow ones are going to be the destroyers. So it's a 6 for the cruiser and 4s for the destroyers. Okay, so we got 1 5 and we got a 7 and a 12. So 1 destroyer is gone. We'll take him out, and then we'll roll again. 11 and 8, so nobody dies. 7 and 9, and we got a 1 and a 9. Okay, so this first attack is a success, and this is 50-50. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But so those British ships are destroyed, and the Graf Spee remains. All right, but he has a second impulse, so guess what he's going to do? We're just going to do that. He's going to go take care of that South African transport, which can be rather annoying. All right, so now what we have is we have 7 U-boats coming in here. All right, so there's 7. Now 1 starts in here, but you're allowed to leave and fight. You don't have to stay there and fight that fleet. So we have 7 U-boats coming in, and there's no scramble. And in 1939, you match up the destroyers 1 for 1 with the subs. So there's 1 destroyer, which means it's going to cancel a sneak attack for 1, but the other 6 are going to get a sneak attack. All right, so I'll roll these all at the same time. The yellow are the 6 sneak attacks, and the red will be the one that is not a sneak attack. So we'll just see how it goes. And the special bonus for the German U-boats, not only do they just cost 5, they also attack at a 5 if there's more than 1 present. There definitely is. Okay, so we've got, that's no good, that's no good, that's no good, that's no good. Okay, so we got 2 hits and then 1 regular hit. So 2 sneak attacks, and he said do a tip and then take the values. So the sub here can be sneak attacked after in the first round of combat. It could submerge on its own turn. I believe that's what the rule is. I've got like 8 rule sets going through my brain right now. But I believe on the very first round it can be sneak attacked. Okay, so we'll use that. 1 hit on the tip, and then 1 regular hit would then be the destroyer. Okay, so coming back, we've got a 1 and a 2. So 1 and a 2. Oh, yeah, 1 and a 2. So the red will be the 1, and the yellow will be the 4, pardon me, not a 2. And it would have been a 2 and a 4, not a 1 and a 2. I'm still on a D6 mentality after all that BBR stuff. Okay, so no hits from the destroyer and the sub. And then we've got a battleship which began at an 8 and a cruiser at a 6. Okay, so the battleship will be the red die, the cruiser will be the yellow at 6. So the cruiser, well, that's easy to figure out, 2 hits. Okay, so we'll just take off a couple of subs. There we go. All right, so now we're into the second round, and there's no destroyer present now, so there are 5 sneaks, essentially. And we got, yeah, sometimes that happens, so we just tap the board until it falls. So we got 3 hits, and that'll take care of everybody here with the sneak attacks. Okay, so right now we have 1, 2, 3, we have 5 U-boats in that C zone. Okay, so we'll come back to that later. Okay, on to this attack here. Here we have 2 U-boats coming in. Oh, sorry, forgot about this guy here. 3 U-boats coming in here. We'll just bring everybody, I guess. We're going to leave the battleship, though, because we're going to need him in Norway. So we've got all this stuff here, and Axis Alloys wasn't going to scramble to anything here, I don't believe. He could only, I guess he could scramble 3 planes, but I don't think he would to this. So, here we go. So we have 4, and we have 1 destroyer. So we have 3 sneaks at 5. So we'll do our 3 sneaks at 5. And we got him. Okay, so the destroyer gets killed. Alright, and that's it. That's why you don't scramble when there's a bunch of subs. Okay, here in Norway, we have an interesting situation. We got 1 infantry, and then we've got a fortification. Now, fortifications give you 2 5s on the very first round only, and any infantry that's in there gets bulked up to a 5 on the first round of combat. So essentially, we're going to have 3 5s in defense, but I have a bomber coming over at an 8. I'm dropping a paratrooper down. He's going to come down in the first round. He's going to be a 3. We've got a bombard coming in at 8, and then we're going to be offloading these 2 guys there at 3s. So we're going to have 2 8s and 3 3s against 3 5s. Okay, so here's my 3 3s. So I got 1 hit, and that's all I need because there is only 1 unit there. You don't have to kill this. Okay. But he does get his 3 5s back. Uh-oh, 2 hits. All right, well, we'll have to take that guy and that guy there, unfortunately. But then this is gone. And we'll talk about what happens with Norway after I've done. I'm just going to do all my attacks. We'll just keep going. Okay, so in France, coming into Reims or Reims, depending on tomato for you. So we're just going to put this out here so it's easier to see. And Germany just starts with a ton of materiel. There's just no 2 ways about it. They've just got tons of stuff. Go. Grab these guys. And, okay, I think the rest is going into Poland. All right. So, now this is where the French, you know, if they get a really good round of rolling, they can put a severe dent in the German war effort. So my building 4 subs and 4 mech and a plane instead of building like 8 mech or something might come back to bite me. So we'll see. But hey, you play these games, you don't want to play them the same way all the time. You want to switch things up. Take a chance every now and again. We'll put our Deadpool up here. All right. As you can see, this is considerably more involved than many of the games I play on YouTube. So just if you're patient with me, that would be appreciated. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 13 at 2. Okay. And then we've got the tacticals and these things. So the fighters are attacking at a 6, the tacticals are attacking at a 7. But the French have 6 infantry and this. So these 6 infantry are all at 5. The artillery is at a 4, the tanks at a 6. Okay? But these are all at a 5 for the first round of combat. Okay? All right, so we'll just start with our 13 at 2. All right, so we'll roll 7 and then we'll roll 6. Okay, so we got 1, 2 hits. We'll get rid of that one and we'll roll that. So we got 2 hits so far. Oh, and 2 more. That's 4. And usually you can't really count on your infantry, but I got 4 out of 13. That's pretty good. All right, so we got 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to go behind the casualty line, as it were. And then I've got 3 at 6. Oh, no hits. Well, that makes up for it. And 3 at 7. And we got 2 more hits. Okay, so 2 more infantry. All right, so now the French get to shoot back. So they've got 2 at 5 and then another 6 at 5. So they got 8 at 5. I'll just grab another die over here. So they got 8 at 5. I think that's a hit because either way it's going to be a hit. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Okay, with their 5. So that's 5. We'll just put a reminder there. So it's 5. That's a pretty good roll. And then we've got a 4, it's a miss, and a 6. That's a hit. So we got 6 hits on the Germans. So that'll take care of that, that stack of infantry. Youch. All right. And I got 6 on the French. So equal number of hits. The Germans have a lot more power there, but their 2s just don't do the job sometimes. So we've got 7 left at 2. So we'll just roll all these 2s. Oh, 1, 2, and that's all there is left. Again, you don't have to kill this. It's kind of an abstract situation. Okay, so those 2 are dead. So we'll say the red is the 6 and the yellow is the 4. It's got a miss and a miss. Okay, so that's it. So Reims falls. Okay, so we'll put our little stack of 4 infantry and our 3 mechs there. And our planes on their non-com, of course, would go back to West Germany. All right, so there's that. All right, and then we've got Poland. Poor Poland. Well, I've seen Poland survive once, so we'll see what happens this time. Here's the Poles. Whoops. All right. Now, there is a rule in this game that if you have an air base adjacent to a sea zone, which this one isn't, but just so you know, it can scramble to sea zones to protect, and also if it's on a carrier, it can scramble to an adjacent sea zone. So get ready for that. That'll be something that, again, Axis and Alloys and I will have to make sure that we are in good communication. A lot of moving parts, but should work okay. So, whoops, stack of tanks here. So all of the German armor is over at Poland. So, do this. And we need to get rid of this first stack of Polish stuff quickly. We can't mess around. All right, and then this guy is going up into there. Now what's going to happen is this guy here is going to be able to activate both of these in a non-combat movement, which is great. You get some money for it, and they start cranking out stuff next round, but you can't use them to attack until you're either at war with Russia or Yugoslavia is taken or Greece is taken. They've got some real rules, so we'll let you know how that goes. All right, so that's everything there. So that battle's done, that battle's done, that battle's done. Okay, so Poland is our final tilt. And the Germans going in we have 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at 2. Okay, so we have 10 at 2. We have artillery's a 3, and it brings the infantry up to a 3 as well. And then I've got a bunch of 6s and a couple of 7s. Oh, I've got 5, 6, I got 7 at 6 and 2 at 7. All right, so let's start with our 7 at 6. Why not? Let's just do that. Oh, well, that was not too good, but I guess I got 3. So I got 1, 2, 3, and then 2 at 7, 3, 4, 5 hits. Okay, so that's 5. We'll just put that up there. So our top 2 echelons have 5. Now we've got 2 at 3. Nothing there. 5 and a 4. And then I've got 10 at 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 10 at 2. Here we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, and that's never going to land on something I need. Okay, so 8 hits total. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry, 6, 7, 8. So that's everything for the Poles in one fell swoop, and that's what you need to do as Germany to help with success. So now we have the Poles have 5, 6, 7 at 4. So here we go. 7 at 4. 1, 2, so 2 hits, and then 1 at 6. All right, 3 hits. So 3 hits on the Germans. Of course, that'll be 3 infantry. Okay, so we've been able to dispatch the Poles and the French and the Norwegians in our first battles. Now I'm going to do my non-coms, and then I'm going to put my build on and all the rest, and we won't bother filming all that because I need to move a bunch of stuff around. But we're going to come through here and activate both of these on this round. Okay, and I'll put my troops into West Poland. I'll put the roundels on, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what round 2 is going to look like. So my non-coms, of course, the bombers are going to head back into Berlin, and yeah, I think that's it. So I just got to put on the roundels. This is actually a very difficult game to film, and there's, like I say, a lot of moving parts, and lots of territory changes hands on the first couple of rounds, and lots of annexations going on. So I'm just going to pause it now. I'm going to put my so I got 5 infantry. I'm going to chip him out. So I got 5 infantry. I'm going to chip out 2 of these trucks. Got 3 mobile. I'm going to chip out 1 tank. So I got 5 tanks. Okay, so that's what's going to be in West Poland when we come back right after these very important messages. Okay, so I'm going to roll for the Norwegian Navy now. I totally forgot to do it, and I'm planning out my moves, and realize that, hey, the British fleet sometimes has more stuff in it. And yes, it might, because the Norwegian fleet might join it. Now that's why the Germans have to bring so much. But the way you do this is when you roll for a strict neutral, a 1 to 2, in this case, Germany would capture the ship. 3 to 8, it gets scuttled. A 9 to 12, it's going to join this British fleet. So let's just roll this out now. And what we have are 2 coastal battleships, a coastal sub, and a destroyer. Now the destroyer can go anywhere, but these coastal ships cannot go into open territory, like open water like this. Like there's no land, so it can't go out into the open ocean. And they also don't attack quite as well, the battleships. They're at I believe they're at a 5, but I'll have to look that up. Yeah, maybe a 6. I'll look that up. All right, so let's roll for them. So we'll have the 2 battleships to start. So 1 to 2, they're German. 3 to 8, scuttled. Okay, so 1 scuttle and 1 goes to England. All right, so scuttle, and England is going to get a free coastal ship, which we're going to have to destroy, but there you have it. And the submarine gets scuttled, and the destroyer, oh, the Germans get a free destroyer. Look at that. Okay, so we're just going to add this to the German fleet. It says you can use a port or a navy, so I'll just move it there. And this is scuttled and scuttled. Okay, I'm just going to swap these out for their country's colors, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so the attacks are going to be, these 4 subs are going to come over and attack the Canadian Navy. This sub is going to come up 1, 2 and attack there. Of course, all these ships, all these subs, and the battleship are going to come out and have fun with the British fleet there. In Denmark, we have a bomber and 2 men coming in. This fella here is just going to walk up and take Narvik. So that's pretty simple. I'm just going to grab a roundel. Just put that upside down there. And I've placed roundels here because we'll be activating Finland and we're going to be activating Bulgaria. And we're obviously going into France. But let's start with this one right here. This is the coastal battleship that they just got from Norway. Alright, so let's look at the destroyers. We always count up destroyers and see how many, because 1 for 1 they eliminate subs. Oops, sorry Mr. Tactical. Alright, so we've got a 1 destroyer, so that's 1 sub that's going to be no sneak attack. But then we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more subs. We have 8 sneak attacks on that British fleet. Of course, it cannot target airplanes. So we have 6 yellow, 1 red, 1 white. So these are all attacking at 5s. These are all sneak attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a very good roll. So we'll go tip, and since they're sneak attacks, the tips are instant. So they'll be reduced in their defense value. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, if he's going to go in order of casualties, then I believe the coastal is a 5 next, and the carrier would be the next. So in order of casualties, because of the instantaneous hits, these are the be as 5 hits. So 2 on here, 2 on the coastal, and 1 on that, I believe. Let's see here. I'm just trying to do some math here. I think that's the best we've got. Actually, yeah, I think he'd rather have a 5 and a 4 than just eliminate that and have 1 8. We didn't talk about that. Yeah, because he wanted tips first. Okay, he said tips. So there we go. So these guys are actually out of the fight right off the bat. And now the Germans have cruiser and 3 destroyers. This is the freebie that came over. So we have an 8, a 6, 3 4s. Okay, an 8, a 6, and 3 4s. Okay, so we'll just use these dice here. So the red will be the 8, the white will be the 6, and the yellows are 4s. Okay, so the red is 8, so only 1 hit. Alright, it's a little anemic after that good sub attack. So in this instance now, this would be the next one for point value for 4s, but I think he'd probably keep this and get rid of this, because this also defends at a 4. Okay, but he's going to get to hit back. So we've got a 4, a 4, we've got a 5, and a 6. So 4, 4, 5, 6. So 4, 4, 5, and the red will be the 6. Okay. 1, 2. So 2 hits back. Of course, we'll take 2 subs. I would damage the battleship, but you got to pay to repair them, and you never know what you're going to roll. Okay, so his tactical is gone now. So now we're back to the next round with subs. So 1 for 1 destroyer, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sneak attacks with the U-boats. And that's why I built 4 U-boats, because I got to get rid of this fleet soon. So I got 1 hit. Oh, 1 hit. Okay. And then I've got... oh, I forgot to roll my sub last round. That's by the destroyer. But, oh well, snooze you lose. Okay, so now I got the other sub at a 5. So that's a hit. So that's 2 hits now. 2 hits. And then I've got 3 at 4, 1 hit, the 1. That's 3 hits. Let's see how many we need. I think that's all we needed. So the tip, the 6 and the 4. Okay, so we've got a 6. When a battleship is tipped, it's a 5, and the destroyer is a 4. Okay, so we have the 4, hit, 5, hit, and 6. All right, well, the Royal Navy went out with a bit of a flourish there. So 2 more hits. So that's 2 more subs going bye-bye. But now the Royal Navy up in the Firth of Forth, or whatever that place is up there, is gone. This is pretty standard, folks, for the game. So if you're thinking, oh, wow, that's easy, this is pretty much how it goes. But and Germany's got gonna have a lot of problems with Russia. So now we have Denmark. So we've got 2 at 2 and 1 at 8 versus 1 at 4. So 2 at 2, nothing there, and 1 at 8. And a miss. We got 1 at 4 with a miss. That's good. 2 at 2. And there, 1 at 8. Okay, so he's dead. He shoots back, and a 12. So nothing there. So Denmark falls. And we'll put the roundel up there. We'll flip it in a second here. Now we got to roll for these. So as we know, 1 to 2 German and 9 to 12 Allied. All right. And it's not 9 to 12 Allied, it's 9 to 12 whoever didn't attack you, right? So attacking a strict neutral, the Navy typically goes more to the defender. Okay, so for the sub, that's going to go to Britain. And the destroyer 4 gets scuttled. All right, so the sub's going to Britain. It goes to the nearest naval base or fleet. Well, the nearest naval base is now over here. And we'll switch that out with a British sub. I'm not even sure if they start with any subs, do they? Yeah, they have 1 sub. All right, there we go. And the destroyer got scuttled. All right, so Denmark's done. So now we got Warsaw. So Warsaw does not have a ton of defense at all, because they put all their stuff out to meet the Germans, of course, and by the time they got rolled up and attacked by the Soviets, it wasn't going too well. But I'm just going to make sure that that is the right number, because something tells me there should be an artillery or something in there, but maybe not. Just one moment, please. Well, sadly, I am correct. This is all the Poles get. All right. So we have, they're going to have 2 4s and a 6 in defense. I'm not bringing in any aircraft because, buddy there. And so we'll just hammer out as we go. So we have, those are mechs. So we've got 2 at 3, we've got 1, 2, and I believe there's 5, so that's 7 at 2, 2 at 3, and then 5 at 6. Okay, so 7 at 2, 2 at 3, 5 at 6. 7 at 2. Nothing. 2 at 3. Nothing. And 5 at 6. 1 hit out of all that. Okay, so then the Poles get 2 4s and a 6. And they got 2 hits. So there's a 4, 4, and the 6. All right, so they got 2 hits on me. All right, so I am down to lose 2 infantry, and they'll lose 1 infantry. Throw them in the dead pile. All right, so now we're down to 5 at 2, 2 at 3, and 5 at 6. We're going to start with our 5 at 6. We'll see if our tanks can get her done. And they can. Okay, so 4 and a 1 and a 2 for good measure. And then we've got the 6 is the red. All right, so 1 hit. Either way, that would have been 1 hit for them. Oh, I forgot to take the AA gun as a casualty. So that means we need to roll one more. Okay, it's miss. All right, so I still only got, oh, I did get 3 hits, so they're gone, and the infantry didn't get another hit. That was my bad, folks. I'm so used to doing other styles of games. All right, so what happens is these guys are gone. They got 1 hit back on me, so we'll kill 1 more infantry. And the AA gun goes, and the factory goes. So what happens is that when you attack a major factory, it becomes a minor. When you attack a minor factory and take the territory, it becomes gone, for lack of a better term. All right, it just gets disappeared. Okay, so Warsaw has fallen. All right, and now we have the battle for Paris. So on the ground, I'm going to have, oh right, I got to do Holland too. All right, so on the ground, I'm going to have these 4 men. Make it clear here. These 3 mechs coming in, and we're going to add 1 more mech. Okay, coming from Western Germany. The other 3 mechs are going to go into Holland, and they're going to have some help from some friends. So they're going to have help from the bomber, and we're going to have a fighter and a tactical go into Holland as well. So we want to try to take care of that as soon as possible. Now, without getting too crazy, I guess I'll pull everything out of here. So I'm going to have 5 tacticals. You start with 5, and I bought 1, so that gives me 6. And when they pair up with their fighters or tanks, they go up a notch. So we're going to have let's make sure I got everything. Nope, they don't even have to be paired up. They're just a 7. That's right. That's why they cost $1 more. Okay, so we have 4 mechs, 4 infantry, and then we have 4 fighters and 5 tacticals so far, because the French do get to shoot at each and every plane. It's not, there's no limit like there is with other games. And I'm just going to do a quick check here. I think I may have forgotten to put somebody else in Paris. Hold on one moment. Sorry. No, actually, I got it right. Inconceivable! So good for me. Yeah, so many rules and so many setups and whatnot, and sometimes you just forget to do things. So speaking of forgetting to do things, we got the Canadians over here, but we're going to start with Holland. So I've got, what do I got? I got 3 at 2, 1 at 6, 1 at 7, 1 at 8, 3 at 2, nothing. 1 at 6, hit, 1 at 7, hit, and 1 at 8. I think that's probably going to end up on the 12. Oh, no, ended up on the 7. Cool. So 3 hits. And they've got 4 coming back at 4. And nothing there. So I got 3 hits. So they are down to 1 hit now. So I'm going to start with my 8. Of course. My 7. Good. Okay. So they've got their artillery left, shooting at a 4. And no hits. Okay, so Holland kind of rolled over there, which we're excited about. We hope France took notes and says, that's what we should do. And I really messed up. I forgot to send guys into Normandy, and I even had the arrow there. Well, too bad for me. All right. That's it's going to cost me later. All right, so here we go. So he's got his anti-aircraft here, anti-aircraft gun, and he is going to shoot at each plane that is coming in. So he actually gets 9 shots. Okay, and so I'm just going to roll them all, and defender chooses if there's a hit, and it's so there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's need a 2. Oh, thankfully no hits. All right, now I see my battery's about to die. Hold on a second. Just down. Aha! All right, I saved it. Oh, and my I did put this down, so he's going to come down and Zorch that thing. There's no defense for transports in this game. All right. So no hits with the anti-aircraft gun. So here we go. We've got 8 at 2. Hey, a couple twos. All right, so that's 7, 8 at 2. And we got 1, 2. So 2 hits. Put a 2 there. And then we've got 4 at 6. And we got 2 more hits, so that's 4. And then we've got 5 at 7. Ooh, a lot of double digits there. But we got 3 more hits, so that's 7 hits. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sure he'll keep the fighter for the better defense. Okay, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at 4. 6 at 4. We got 1 hit. Ooh, that is lucky. Why did I say 6 at 4? It's 5 at 4, but we'll give him his 1 hit, and then he's got 2 at 6. When I grouped the casualties together, I kept the fighter over there. 2 at 6. Oh, 2 more. So he got 3 hits on me. Of course, that's 3 men. All right, now he's down to 1 fighter. So I'm just going to roll my tacticals, my 5 tacticals. Hopefully get 7 or less. Okay, we did. And then he gets a 6. Oh, no good. All right. So that's it for Paris. And the Germans will take that over. Gadunk. We'll just do that. Claim the territory. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is my... I think that's all the battles. So my non-coms are going to be, he's going to go into there and activate Bulgaria. And then I've got a, oh, see? Forgot. So I got 4 at 5. And then 1 at 4 for the Canadian. Well, actually, I got 3. 3 because I'll have 3 sneaks. 3 sneaks. Good thing I remembered that. Okay, so we got them. So everything goes into the dead pile there. All right. So that's that. All right, so now we have, I'm going to do my non-coms, and then we're going to roll out all the Vichy stuff, okay? So, we will, got to get all these air bases into the right spots. Air base, air base, air base, air base. Airbase, airbase. I think those are all in the right spot. All right. So now we're going to have these 2 guys going to head over to Czechoslovakia over here. And everything came from West Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're all going to end up back in Bavaria. And then we'll put some in West Germany as well. Because again, I don't have another build going on, right? I didn't get another buy, I just got that. All right, so we'll do that there. Okay, oh, need to grab a, roundel for Holland. I don't think there's another one I need. All right, so we'll capture that in a minute. Okay, bomber. I'm going to send this bomber back to Berlin. This bomber is going to go back to Berlin. This, well, that went in there. This transport's going to come by, pick up these 2 guys, and then swing on up and activate Finland. All right, so, and you can activate just the one, or you can activate all, but I figured, hey, why not do all? Do all. So they're all activated now. That's done, that's done, that's done. Subs are done. The Navy's a big mess up here. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to roll out for the Vichy. And this is entertaining, but I've never found it to be game breaking or game changing. It's just a lot of fun. So the first thing we're going to do is the territories, because then the Navy might have different spots it can go. So for territories, it's very simple. You roll for each French territory on the board, islands, everything, whether it's worth something or not. 1 to 6 becomes Vichy, and 7 to 12 becomes Free French. All right. So we will start with Normandy and hope like heck it goes to Vichy. So 1 to 6 is Vichy. Crap. All right. So the Free French. So Free French, they get a little Free French. Bordeaux. Free French. All right. Marseille. Okay, that's awesome. So it goes Vichy. Okay. And then Germany gets their 2 men and their 1 tank. Now, this stuff here is considered Vichy, which means I cannot use it as Germany. I can't move it around, but it will defend the territory. All right. Okay, so let's go start with West Africa. So that's a 6, that's Vichy. French West Africa is a 3, is Vichy. Okay. Now, it might not seem important, but again, these are landing zones if you're flying around, right? Rio de Oro with a nice naval base. Boo. And worth $1. By the way, all the Free French, the UK gets all the money for the Free French. So on the UK's turn, they're going to get some extra scratch. Western Algeria is Vichy. Algeria is Vichy. Oh, that's not good because it means these other ones are going to go Free French. Morocco. Oh, it's Vichy. Cool. Now, when that happens, these guys got to get the heck out of there. Okay? And they need to do it right now. So they could take a chance on going here, but if this goes Vichy, they can only go here. And if this goes Vichy, they're wiped off the board. So I'm going to assume that Axis and Alloys wants to do this. Okay, and know that he can save them. Okay, I don't want to assume he's going to take risks. Okay. Northern Algeria. Oh, Vichy. Okay, so now they all have to go into Tunisia. So now if this becomes a 1 to a 6, all those Free French troops are gonzo, which would be cool for me, but tragic for them. Okay, well, they're Free French. Look at that. So they saved all of their troops. Usually happens that way. There you go. So they can be a real thorn in the side of the Italians now. Okay, French Equatorial Africa is a 2. Congo is an 8, so that's Free French. And Cameroon is Free French. So bada bing, bada boom. And the Vichy. Okay, so the next one is Corsica. This is important too, especially at the game end. Oh, good. That's nice. So Corsica goes Vichy. All right, Syria is the next one. Syria is Free French. Look at that. Free infantry for you there. And the British can use those, whereas Axis can't use the Vichy stuff. Only in defense, but the Allies can use the Free French stuff. So, knocked over my Dutch fellows here. Oh, we also got to move the Dutch fleet. We'll talk about that in a second. So, French Indochina and Saigon. So, French Indochina, Free French, Saigon, Vichy. Okay, so Saigon, which is nice, because now Japan, you just walk in there, doesn't have to fight for it. Not that they would anyway, but it's nice. It's handy. Okay, so the last two we tend to do these at the same time. If Axis and Alloys wants to do them separately, we will, but we say, because it's one C zone, we just roll one die. Oh, we got to do Madagascar first, but we'll do that Pacific Island thing. Okay, so Free French. So Free French, we'll just put out one token. And Madagascar, Vichy. And I'm all out of Vichy stickers. Okay, so, not stickers, but roundels. So I only have 10 of each. So I will grab, oops, where's my French box? I'll grab one of the cardboard ones. There we go. So Madagascar, I thought it was worth $1, but it's not. That's on the G40. Okay, so that is how you do Germany's first round for the territories and everything. Now we're going to roll for the ships. Okay, and we'll just come back over here. I'm going to get my steps in today. So we got the die roll. So 1 to 2 is a German ship, 3 to 8 is scuttled, 9 to 10 becomes Vichy, and 11-12 becomes Free French. So it's the same odds that a ship will go Axis as it will go Free French. Okay, so we're going to pull this British sub, their freebie, out of there, and we're just going to bring these over. Now, this is a Free French port, so if it goes Free French with 11 to 12, it'll just stay there. But if it goes German, it'll go to the nearest port. I didn't put my German ports on. Oh my goodness. Or maybe I did and they got moved around a bit. I think there's a port in Stettin. I'll have to look that up. But it'll head over to that area of the board because that'll be the closest German port. Okay, so we'll start with, we got a cruiser, we got sub, transport. Okay, let's start with the little guy here. Transport! Hey, the Germans get a transport. Let's hear it for the Germans. So I believe that's the closest German port. I'll check again. I don't think Western Germany has a port. Let's just see. Naval base in Stettin, and that's it. Yeah, so I was right. So there you go. Submarine. Oh, look at that. That's all right. Now we got 2 destroyers. One goes to Germany and one stays here in the channel. Becomes Free French. Germany's doing okay here. And then we got a cruiser. Okay, well, Germany's getting a free fleet here thanks to the French. And the battleship. Well, there you go. So the Free French get a battleship that the UK can use. It's right in the channel. So we're going to have to do something about that. And now we have the French ships down here in the Med. So we'll start with the sub over by Malta. It's a 10. 10, it becomes Vichy. So gonna move to the nearest Vichy port, and that's a sub, and I'm gonna swap it out for sub. This is the Vichy stuff I'm gonna use. I think it just goes to the nearest Vichy territory. And I think, oh, that's actually not the nearest. This is the nearest Vichy territory. Okay, so now the next sub. 4, I believe that's a scuttle. That's a scuttle. The transport. It's a scuttle. We have 2 destroyers. Oh, wow. Both go to, I get to replace with the German ships. So those are going to be German. Oh, so I guess I'm not actually supposed to move them. I think me and my buddies did that the wrong way. Okay, so these are all going to be German ships, and they're all going to be in the channel. I think you get to move them though, but we'll work on that. So these 2 become German ships as well. I'll just do that. And then we've got 2 cruisers, and they both get scuttled. Okay. All right. So, yeah, sorry folks, a little bit of confusion there, but I guess it just says replace with the German ship. I think we could do non-coms though, so I think that's why they end up in a different spot. So we are definitely going to non-com these guys out of there. We're going to come over here, and now we've got our 4 fighters here ready to jump up and cover the free boats here, so I don't know if the Brits are going to worry about that too much. These subs are good. These 2 ships become German, but then they can move. So I got to find a couple German destroyers. And yeah, I'll do that. Tell you what, I'm going to get into my German box, find some destroyers. We'll put them on, we'll capture territories, add up the money, and see if there is any bonuses. All right, we'll be right back. All right, as you can see here, the Germans start with $24 in production. They do start with more cash for their initial build, but 24 in production, and then we've captured a bunch of territories or annexed. To make matters simple, when you annex Finland and then these three miners, it's $12. Okay, the miners actually make a little bit more money. Like Romania here says 4 on it, wherever the 4 went. There's a 4. It actually makes 6, and Bulgaria makes 4, and Hungary makes 3, but Bulgaria is only worth 2 to the Germans. Okay, so 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 is 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so Germany's up 12. And then they're up 2 for Warsaw, 14, 15 for West Poland. Narvik is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 for Holland. Oh, we got to take care of the Dutch fleet. Forgot about that. That's 20. 22. And then 4 for Paris is 26. And then all the Vichy territories become German income. So it's 29, 30, 31. And then we've got Saigon, which is worth 3, so that's 34. I won't walk all the way over there again. All right, so that's 34. And production is 24, so that's 58 that Germany will collect. And then we'll look at our NOs. Very few NOs for Germany in this game, but I do get 2 of them. So you get the production. If you control Denmark and Oslo and Narvik, and Sweden is neutral, which it is. And we're not at war with the Soviet Union, because we're not. And so we get 5 for that. So that's 58, $68. Plus, the French, they start with, I better check it out here, because we take France's money. Now they produce 10 or 20, but they only start with 10. So 68 plus 10 is going to be $78 that the Germans are going to start with next round. $78 for Germany. And then we're going to be off to the races. And the next country that goes is actually Japan. And because I'm the Axis, I'll be playing Japan as well. But this is just going to be a Germany video. And we'll get to Japan shortly after this. So, to all you fans of this game, feel free to leave comments about what you thought about my opening move. I've got to replace some ships here with some German boats and whatnot, but beyond that, we're well in the way here. We just Yugoslavia is always a tricky one, because if you don't send everything you got at Poland, sometimes things don't work out well, and then you can't take Yugoslavia. Now the sad side is Britain can come and activate Yugoslavia and have a bunch of troops there. But if they do that, I think that might open the door to butt whooping from the miners, but I'll have to look at the book on that. All right. Well, thanks for watching this so far, and the next video you see will be of Japan and their foray in the Far East, and we'll let you know how that goes. Oh, and the Dutch, in case you're wondering what happens to the Dutch, because there's a very specific rule about the Dutch. So we're just going to show you what that rule is. And it's caused a little bit of confusion for some people, but I think it's pretty clear, but I just want to make sure I get it perfectly right. I think essentially it just heads down to Northern Australia and they get it. So the Dutch. So they start the game pro-Allied, but become an Allied power when Paris is taken by the Axis, or if any Dutch territory is attacked by the Axis. So both happens. If Japan, no, we're not going to worry about that. If the Dutch capital Holland is captured, all remaining Dutch territories can be activated by the Commonwealth and collect the income. So all of these are now what you would call pro-Allied neutrals. Okay, so they can just grab a guy from Calcutta, go boom boom, and drop off and get $4 in Sumatra. Okay, it's that simple. Yeah, and it says here, if Holland has not been captured by the Axis after Paris falls, they can collect 18 IPCs at the end of the UK collect, and all Dutch units move on the UK turn. But Holland was captured, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Here we go. If a capital is captured and all other territories stay pro-allied, this is in red, and roll for all naval units. If a capital is attacked and not captured, oh, it was. If a non-capital territory, oh, it looks like we're going to roll for it, I guess. So the capital is captured, territories stay pro-allied, and we roll for naval units. Okay, well, now we're going to roll for the naval units. I'm going to assume it's the same as a strict neutral roll. I believe that's what we've used. All right, so let's roll for these units over here. And again, I've played this game with a few different people over the years, and they've all had a different interpretation of some of the rules, and I've just kind of gone along with them, and now I see that that may have been folly, because I think I've learned the wrong way for some of this stuff. But hey, we're learning together. Okay, so we're going to roll. So we've got a transport, we've got a destroyer, we've got a cruiser, and then we've got a coastal sub and a coastal battleship. Okay, so 1 to 2 becomes Axis, 3 to 8 is scuttled, 9 to 12 becomes Allied. All right, so we'll start with the transport. Scuttle with the cruiser. 9, oh, that's going to go down to Australia. It goes to the nearest Allied port, and that's them. So, destroyer, 12. Oh, looks like the Anzac are getting a free fleet here. The sub. Oh, Japan gets a sub, and the battleship. Oh, now it's a coastal battleship, so it's not the big heavy hitter, but it's still a free battleship, right? So, well, I'm going to have to get those split up. So the sub goes to Japan, the nearest Japanese port, which is going to be right there. And this is going to come down here. I'll just have to get a coastal marker for him. And this, in the Pacific, being a coastal, basically just there's small paths that you have to take, and you can hardly, I mean, it's difficult to take part in an attack on Hawaii unless you come this way. So it's easy to cut them off. All right, so that's the Dutch are done, and now they got all their territories. Okay, well, sorry for the lengthy video and kind of the tripping over the rules a little bit, but yeah, that's what happens when you play with different people. and again, all these red are new, right? It's all new stuff from the previous version, so that's pretty important to know. So maybe I learned from people before this red came in. All right, so we have rolled for all the Dutch fleet, and Germany's done its turn, collected its money. Gonna have 78 bucks next round, and that is all. All right, thanks for watching. Japan will be up next, and we'll see what they do. They got a lot of stuff to play with. Okay, so I haven't gone back and watched the film, but I think I rolled wrong or rolled incorrectly for this guy. So I don't even know if he got a hit. But I didn't. I think I rolled him at a 5, and he defends at a 6. Actually, he attacks at a 4, defends at a 6, and that's my bad. So I'm going to roll again for him. I'm pretty sure I had enough hits to kill everything twice, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm just going to roll him at a 6, and even if he got another hit, well, I should just know my stats a little better. Damaged battleships do the 5, but he's like a cruiser essentially on defense. So we'll roll. Okay, a 5. So I'm going to remove another submarine then from the Germans up there. So we'll add them to the dead pool. So sometimes you just get the wrong numbers, and you know what? There's a good chance I messed up somewhere else along in this huge turn. Playing this game by yourself, like on YouTube, when you don't have anybody to really bounce stuff off of, or if you make a mistake or something, sometimes we fix it in the next video. We did that a lot with the BBR, where people would we'd watch the video and you'd say, oh, you forgot about this, or oh, you rolled the wrong number, or oh, yeah, whatever. And so that's just a chance, I think, for players to show that they're understanding, and they'll do what it takes to keep the game rolling along fairly. So that's what we got going here. The other thing I'm going to do is do a recap so that Axis and Alloys knows where everything is. I'm going to assume he kept track of the territories, so I won't go over the Free French and Vichy anymore. And so we're going to go through and show you what the Germans have. So in C-Zone 21, we have 4 submarines. In C-Zone 14, we have a battleship, we have a cruiser, we have 3 destroyers, and 4 submarines. In C-Zone 17, this is our French fleet that we got. So we've got a transport, cruiser, destroyer, sub off the coast of Denmark. We have a transport in C-Zone 20. And we have activated all of Finland, and we added 2 infantry to Finland proper. We have 1 Fallschirmjäger in Narvik. In Denmark, we have 2 infantry. In Holland, we have 3 mech. That doesn't seem right. I'm going to go back and watch the tape. I think I might have taken 1 damage on that. I'm going to put 2 there for now. If I go back and they didn't get any hits, I'll put it back. I'll have to watch the tape, so I'll just leave that in the ocean. In Western Germany, we have 4 fighters. In Paris, we have 4 mech and 1 infantry. In Marseille, we have 1 tank and 2 infantry. In Berlin, we have 2 men and 2 bombers. In Bavaria, we have 5 tacticals. Czechoslovakia, we have 1 tactical, 1 fighter. Austria, we have 1 infantry. West Poland is empty, Elbing is empty. But in Warsaw, we have 3 mech. We have 1 artillery. We have 5 tanks and 2 infantry. And then we activated all this stuff here, and there is 1 mech down in Bulgaria. And I also have 2 destroyers. These are from the French fleet here. I just moved them to the nearest, on my non-com, I just moved them over there. So there's 2 German destroyers in C-Zone 39 with the Italian, the Western Italian fleet. And then don't forget the Graf Spee way down here off the coast of South Africa. I don't usually keep him around. He usually dies against the British destroyers, but got lucky today. So yeah, he doesn't do well trying to climb back up the Atlantic though. So we'll see how long he lasts. Maybe we'll head over to the Indian Ocean. I doubt it. All right, so that's everything for Germany's first round. I'm gonna go have a nap now.
Your powers are weak, old man.
All right, well, thanks a lot, and good luck to Axis and Alloys, and I'll show you Japan when I get that shot. Okay, here's Japan's turn, and Japan is going to purchase a minor factory, 2 SNLF, and a strategic bomber. That's the full 30 that they make. Their production is 41, but they only start with 30 because they got a lot of stuff in the ocean. I hadn't even finished setting up, so when you saw the last flyby for Japan, it didn't include like 6-7 ships in here. So, all right, so here we go. Got all of our attacks coming in, and so we'll just make it really quick. So we're gonna have. So we got to keep that one there. I might have to not do a non-com, but we'll see if we've got the horses for it. So we'll have this transport go here, pick up the guy in Formosa, come back, pick up this guy. Actually, we'll pick up this naval landing fort. Actually, no, we'll pick up this guy, and we'll come in. Now these guys are like Marines, so they're a +1 on amphibious assaults. These 2 fighters are going to go 1, 2, 3, and they have 2 left. So we got a little 2 there for them. We're going to have these 2 guys come in here, and 1 artillery. And then we're going to have this artillery, and these 2 guys come in there. We're going to have all 3 veterans go in there. Now the red ones are veteran infantry, so They attack a little better and defend a little better. Actually, I think they defend about the same. But they attack at a 4, and they do defend at a 5, so they are tough. Plus, the Japanese have a bit of an advantage, but it usually doesn't work unless the war's going poorly, is they have something called dug-in defense, which means that all their infantry class units defend at a 5 instead of a 4 in all original Japanese territories. And then that includes naval and veteran. They all defend at a +1, so the veteran will actually defend at a 6 on Japanese territory. So, but if you're on your own territory defending, it usually means the war's not going so hot for you. Okay, so that is that there. I'm going to spread out the Air Force now. So they're going to go there. They're going to go there. There's an air base. So these guys each have 3 spaces left. And these 2 guys are coming in here. There's also an air base for them, so they also have 3 spaces left. We have a tactical. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, yeah, we'll do one more here. 4 and then 5. So he's just got 1 space left for the tactical. All right, so this transport is done. We're going to keel him over. And then we're going to have this transport go up here, pick up 2 infantry, and drop them off there. We're going to have this transfer, so we'll knock him over so we know he's been used. Take this transport up and pick up a man and a tank and drop him off there. Now, tanks typically pretty formidable things in most Axis and Allies games, but tanks here do not attack well for the Japanese. I think they might attack at a 5 on a good day. Let's see here. It's been a while since I've used one. You typically don't build them. Yeah, they attack at a 5 and they defend at a 5, but they also cost 7, so they cost more than German tanks and they attack less effectively. But yeah, we'll take that 5 and maybe it'll get us some luck. We're going to have a couple of bombards here because we brought in some guys. We're going to have a bombard here, and I'm going to move this cruiser up to here. So we're going to have 3 bombards. We brought in 4, and so we'll bring in a battleship. He's going to come all the way down to this one here, so he's going to bombard, and this battleship will come in here and bombard as well. All right, so this was an infantry, so we're just going to stack that up. All right. Now we got 2 more transports, and so we're going to grab 2 infantry, or an infantry and an artillery on one transport. We're going to come down and we're going to hop here into Kwangtung, and we're going to hope that's enough, and the rest will be a non-com thing. And yeah, we'll try our bomber. We'll try the bomber coming over. And we'll bring a fighter as well. So the fighter goes 1, 2, 3. So he'll have 2 spaces to return, and the bomber will have 5 spaces. So 3 for the fighter. Pardon me there, Hong Kong. And then 5 for the bomber. All right, lots of moving parts again, but not nearly what the German turn was. And the last thing we're going to do is bring down the carriers, and we'll just park them here. So the planes are moving ostensibly 1, 2, 3, and so they can't take part in any of the battles there. They could come into here, but I don't like giving the AA so many shots, because again, in this version, the AA shoots at every plane. It's not a limit of 3 per gun. You can put more than 1 AA in a territory, but it won't do you any good. They just shoot everybody. All the AA just gets to shoot once per plane. So you bring in 50 planes, you got 12 AA, you get 50 shots. You got 1 AA, you got 50 shots. So they kept it nice and simple that way. And I think everything else is going to be non-com movement, so we're not gonna I'm not going to fret too much right now about that. All right, time to roll some dice. So we have, let's start in the south here in Kwangsi. So we've got a veteran infantry attacking at a 4-5. I just said that, didn't I? Veteran infantry attacks at a 4, 5 with an artillery. Don't do that. And then the naval infantry attacks at a 3. All right. So we have a 3. We have a. Why am I having so much trouble remembering? A 4, a 3, a 4, and then the veteran fighters attack at 8. Okay. They're quite potent. All right. So we've got a 3, a 4, and 2 8s. Okay, so here's the 3, the 4, and then 2 8s. And we only got 1 hit out of all that. And he's got 2 back at 4, and no hits. So we'll do that again. So a 3, and a 4. Okay, so that got the last Chinese infantry. There's 1 left, and he gets a hit. All right, so that'll take out the Marine. He's gone. And the Chinese have been evicted from that area. Let's bring a few of these over. All right, so we'll put that there. I better turn this guy over just so we remember he's been used. All right. Now we have, this is going to be a mess. So we'll just start with the AAA and then we'll do the bombard. So they're the AA, I keep calling it AAA. It really is only AA, but any aircraft. So they got 2 shots at 2. Oh no! Nuts. Well, I just lost a fighter. Look at that. Not a good way to start. Alright, so now we have bombards, and we're going to have three cruisers and a battleship. Now, they don't bombard at their full potential. Cruisers bombard at a 4, and battleships bombard at a 6. So these are the cruiser bombards. So we got 2 hits, and then the battleship at a 6. Okay, so 2 hits. I'll just put a little reminder up here. So there's 2 hits on the Chinese in Kwangtung. And they have 5 units there, 4 men and the AA gun. All right, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 regular infantry, 2 artillery, a tank, and 2 veterans. Okay, so the veterans, I'm going to up them with my artillery to 5s. Okay, so that means that my 4 regular infantry are all shooting at 2. All right, 4 regular infantry at 2. Hey, look at that, got 1 hit. So this goes up to a 3. Then I've got my 2 artillery, and they're at a 3. Nothing there. And then my 2 veterans have gone from a 4 to a 5, and then there's a tank as well at a 5. So we got 1 and 2 more hits. So that's 5. So that's everybody. So we don't need to drop the bombs on them or anything. And they're going to come back with, they've got 4 at 4. Okay, so 1 hit. Right on the curve there. All right, so we're going to get rid of Chinese troops in there. And they shot down a plane and killed a guy. But I think we're willing to do that just to get in there. All right, so for the next battle, we don't need to worry about that because he got shot down. Next battle here, we've got 2 fighters, 2 veterans, and 1 artillery and a tactical. All right, so we'll start with our tactical and our 2 fighters. We only have 2, we have 3 Chinese troops in there, so we need 3 hits. So here's 2 at 8, 1 hit, 1 at 7. Oh, come on, guys. What are you doing? And then I've got an artillery at 3. Miss. And then I've got an infantry, a veteran infantry at 4, and a veteran infantry at 5 with the artillery. Boy, everybody's missing. And then I think that's it. Yeah, so what did I get there? 1 hit. All right. So we got 1 hit, and they got 3 coming back at 4. 2 hits. Now, how do you like that? The artillery. Well, I hate losing veteran infantry, but I'm not losing a plane on the first round. Well, that stinks. Why did everybody miss? Why did all that miss? All right. Well, I guess we'll try again. So we have a veteran. Oh, it was a 3. 2 8s for my planes. 1 hit. Okay, I need one more. A 7 with the tactical. No! He's got 2 at 4. Oh, I'm lucky. All right, so he's got 1 left at 4. Here's my 8s. Okay, I got him. He's got 1 left at 4. That's going to land on a 3. All right. So I lose another unit. Oh, wow. I'm getting chewed up in the air here. Not fun. Not supposed to lose aircraft to the Chinese. Well.
Very angry indeed.
I don't want to lose a veteran infantry. So I'm going to lose a plane. And then hope against hope that I can kill all those guys. Alright, so here we go. I've got 3 veteran infantry, a fighter, and a tactical. So the fighter and the tactical. So fighter at 8 with a hit. Tactical at 7 with a miss, of course. Ugh. The planes are not doing well today. These are 3 veteran infantry, so I got 2 more hits. He only had 2 there. So he's got 2 at 4. And fortunately, no hits on my veteran infantry. So they're going to go away fairly quietly. All right. So these guys have 3 spaces. They're going to fly back to Shanghai. These guys both have 3 spaces. They're going to fly back to Shanghai. The bomber has 5, so we're going to move him back all the way to Japan proper. Take care of that. Get rid of these. Get rid of that. These guys have 2 spaces left. They're going to go back to Shanghai. And I guess I got to put some more Japanese roundels on. Where did I put those things? Oh, here, there. Alright, so one's going to go there, one's going to go there, one's going to go there. Well, that was a costly opening round. But what can you do? Alright, so I've only got 1 transport left, I believe, or do I got 2? Okay, I've got 2. So I've got this one here. He's going to grab this guy and bring him over, and we're going to activate Siam. Okay, Siam is pretty important. I can actually flip that over because he's pro me. And then I'm going to bring down 2 fellas from here. I brought one guy over there, but it doesn't really matter where these guys go. It's all the same landmass. So these 2 fellows are going to hop on that transport. We're going to come down and we're going to activate Saigon. We're going to come down into there. So that goes from Vichy because the Japanese move in. The Japanese just actually take it. All right, so Germany will no longer get that sort of a bonus. Not sure where I was filming there for a second, so hopefully that was clear. Okay, that's gone. All right, so it's all the conflict, and I think that's all the movements I was going to do. All right, we're going to move Mr. Sub. He's going to move up to there. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's going to move to there. And the Japanese restriction is before they are at war with the U.S., they cannot stop next to the west coast of North America, essentially. They can't lay in wait there. They have to be at least 1 space away. The Americans, wherever they travel before they have war, whether they get declared on or they declare it through their economy, they cannot stop their navy anywhere except beside American islands. So now there's plenty of choices, right? Plenty of choices, but you can see that really does hamper them. They can't come down here and lay off Queensland like they do in so many other games. They've got to stay to themselves. Very isolationist in this game. So let's just take a quick look at the count of the dead. That really hurt Japan. That's not a good round. 2 planes, a veteran infantry, artillery, their marine, and a regular infantry or artillery. Yeah. So we're going to put on the factory. Of course, goes right there. And these guys have to go up in Japan. So we'll just put everybody right there just for ease. All right. All right, so that's that. The Chinese lost 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They lost 11 infantry and 1 AAA gun. So cost-wise, definitely, this is 21, so that's 7 infantry right there. That'd be 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we lost about the same amount. Can't do that. Gonna have to do better. All right, so let's just take a look here. We're gonna get rid of these red arrows. Gonna capture some territories. Some pretty weak holdings though. I suspect Kwangsi will be taken back post-haste. All right, so here we go. Japan has a starting production of 41, and they have, oh, yes, move these subs back to here. And they have taken over 1, 2, 3, 4. Siam is worth 3, wherever that went, and Saigon is worth 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Okay, so they have 41. They've taken over 10 for 51, and their national objectives do not kick in until they are at war. So the Japanese are going to have 51 bucks to spend next round here in the Pacific, and we'll just do a quick overview so that Axis and Alloys knows what's going on, where my stuff is at. All right, the coastal sub that we got from the Anzac is up in the Marshall Islands. Down here in the Caroline, we have 3 subs and 1 destroyer, and of course that guy hasn't left. Same with the Mariana infantry there, or the SNLF, he's there. Down here in 91, we have got 1 sub, we have got 2 transports, we have got a cruiser, a battleship, 2 destroyers, and 2 of our original loaded carriers with the naval fighter and the naval torpedo bomber. In Sea Zone 106, we have 3 transports, 1 sub, 3 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and a battleship. In 125, 2 destroyers. In 124, 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers. Not sure if you can see those over top. Okay. Korea and Manchuria have not changed. Down in Fukuoka, we have 2 strategic bombers, we have 2 naval landing infantry, and we've got 4 regular infantry. And that is all there. In Shanghai, we have a newly built minor factory. We have 5 veteran fighters and 1 tactical. Kwangtung, we have 3 infantry, 2 artillery, 2 veteran infantry, and 1 tank. Kwangsi has a veteran infantry, Hunan has a veteran infantry, and Shenxi has 3 veteran infantry. Siam was liberated with 1 veteran infantry, so we have the 2 infantry here and the fighter. Saigon has 2 infantry, and in 85 we have 1 transport. All right. So that's $51 for Japan, and that's our opening move. And we will see how Axis and Alloys responds. Who's up next? Well, it's the Soviet Union. who's not at war yet. But he'll take you through the paces for that. All right, good luck, Axis and Alloys. We'll hear from you in just a bit.